everyone. This is Lynn Liquidy back for another Marketeers Mastermind, and I'm happy to bring you another one of my masterminds this week, which is what is a ghostwriter and what kind of services can you get from a ghostwriter? Because every ghostwriter is different, and depending on the ghostwriter, you could get different services with that ghostwriter, but it really does depend on the person. But let's first go over what is a ghostwriter. So a ghostwriter is a writer who writes content for other people, but doesn't have their name attached as the writer. So for example, if I write blogs for a client and it's under the client's name and I'm not putting authored by Lynn Smargis or guest post by Lynn Liquidy or guest post by Liquidy in the gluten-free world, then I am ghostwriting for someone, even though that's typically not how people think of ghostwriters. People typically think of ghostwriters as people who are hired to write a book but it doesn't have their name on it, or they may have an editing, or they may have a different tag or description for their part of the book, what they did. But in reality, you don't have to just be writing a book to be a ghostwriter. You can write anything, an article, a blog, a newsletter for someone else and not have your name associated with it. And anything, any type of content you write for someone else who, and you don't have your name on it, is considered a ghost written piece of work. So in this live today, for people who are watching, if you have a question, just throw your comments in the chat and I will get it here, and then I can answer your questions for you live. So for the ghostwriting part, so typically when people think of ghostwriters, of course, they think of writing books. And so when you are ghostwriting a book for someone, that means that somebody has a book idea, or some of my clients actually had half of their book written and they gave it to me and they're like, well, I need this book finished and I'm not getting it finished. Or sometimes people are like, I'm out of ideas. I need help with, more ideas for my book. Or sometimes people just didn't have the time because they ended up getting involved in another project that they weren't expecting, and they don't have time to finish their book when they want to have it published and sent out into the world. And so those are all types of people I help with my ghostwriting. And so ghostwriting in and of itself is any type of content you write for someone else. And my favorite type of ghostwriting is ghostwriting books. Now, not every writer does ghostwriting for books. A lot of writers will do blogs. A lot of people may write email newsletters, but not a lot of writers will ghostwrite for other people. There's a very actual small percentage of writers who actually ghostwrite for other people. And so when you do ghostwrite for other people, it's really, for me, I really love it because I get to help other people with, a lot of times having a book is a bucket list item for somebody, which means it's an item that is a life goal. And so one of the reasons I love ghostwriting for other people is because it helps other people with getting their bucket list item checked off. And that's a really great feeling. And so I love helping other people getting their bucket list item checked off. I also love helping other people with teaming up with them and working with them through their whole book to help them with my professional opinion, like, where this should go, organizational editing, like all of that good stuff. And so some of the services that ghostwriters can offer you clearly is book writing, right? Or maybe writing blogs or newsletters. Some ghostwriters, like myself, like I actually help people write the book. And then if they need help with the content, like with email marketing or blogs or any of that, I can also help them with that as well. But not all ghostwriters help people with the marketing aspect of the content. Some ghostwriters only help with the book writing. So you always have to ask ghostwriter that you're interviewing, what services do you provide? But ghostwriters can provide a whole range of services. So I help people with ghostwriting, and then if they need content marketing afterward, I can help them with that, or marketing planning, I can help them with that as well. Or another thing some ghostwriters do, but not all, is book editing. And so I do book editing as well as ghostwriting. And so I help people write the book, and as we're writing along, I also do the editing for them. But you have to ask the ghostwriters. Some ghostwriters don't do editing. And so they may refer you to a book editor who they are in contact with, or they know who they've worked with before. And so if you are writing a book with a ghostwriter, double check and make sure before you sign any contracts with them or agreements that you know exactly what services they're providing for you. Maybe it's just writing your book. Maybe it's writing and editing your book. And so make sure you find out what services they're providing, because ghostwriters can provide a wide range of services other than just writing your book. And another thing that you also want to check too with a ghostwriter is making sure that like their timeline fits in yours and they have time to write your book in the timeline that you need to have it published. And so that's another consideration to make, because some ghostwriters are busier than others. They may not be able to finish your book in a time that you need. So you may need to find someone else who can get you in on the timeline that you're looking for. So that's all of the things about, in general, what a ghostwriter does. And one of the things I do with my ghostwriting as well is I also help with book coaching. So my ghostwriting packages, the monthly ones, also have book coaching. So I help people along with ideas or organizational things. I help them with bouncing ideas off each other, but also with the flow and the content of the book as well. And so another thing you want to consider as well with ghostwriters is if they write fiction, if they write nonfiction, like what genres they have a specialty in. And just because a ghostwriter doesn't have a specialty in a nonfiction area doesn't mean they can't write in it. It just means you might have to coach them a little bit more or give them some more information or education on the topic so they can write well about it. But the main thing with when you hire a ghostwriter is you definitely want to hire somebody you click with, you get along with, you think has a great personality, that you complement each other, because your ghostwriter and you are going to be best friends for several months. And so you definitely want to make sure that you have a good working relationship with that person. You strike up good energy. You feel great when you're with them, because if you don't, you're going to have a miserable time with that ghostwriter. And so you really want to make sure that whoever it is that you hire for, whether it's blogs, newsletters, your book, editing, that you get along with them very well and that you guys really click, because that's going to be an essential component of your ghostwriting experience for you and for the ghostwriter as well. And so you want to make sure you definitely click. All right, so I'm going to throw something down in the comments. One of the things you definitely want to check out is my Marketeers Mastermind podcast. So in addition to my lives every Wednesday, I have more information on my Marketeers Mastermind podcast, which drops every Tuesday at 4 a.m. Pacific. So if you whatever podcast player you love listening to, if you don't jump on any podcast player, you can listen to more information about ghostwriting on Marketeers Mastermind. Just make sure to follow or subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening to Marketeers Mastermind on. That way you'll get each week dropped right to your account. And all of the Marketeers Mastermind podcasts, just like the lives every Wednesday, are free for just information I like to give to people to help them with finding ghostwriters or learning more about ghostwriting. If you're curious about, hey, should I have my book ghostwritten? All right, my friends. So next week, we're going to talk about what a ghostwriter charges and go into a little bit about pricing structures with ghostwriters. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at www.writeforyou.me. And if you are looking to hire a ghostwriter, definitely reach out to me on my website, www.writeforyou.me, where I can answer any of your ghostwriting questions. And you can also click the link in this video below for a discovery call to find out more and see if we click for ghostwriting as well. All right, my friends, I hope this has been really helpful for you, and I hope you're having a great week. Tune in next week when we talk about what ghostwriters charge on the next Marketeers Mastermind Live.